Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now, remember, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now, this is a thought and commentary video, and I got a few of them this week. But this one is on David Schwimmer's interview with The Guardian and Erika Alexander getting him all the way together. Recently, David Schwimmer, who played Ross on Friends, did an interview with The Guardian, and in this interview, he talks about how he fought for diversity on the, during Friends. That, because if you saw Friends, you really saw that there was very little diversity. And he said that he really fought very hard for diversity, to be on the show. It's even as far as the girls he dated, because I remember one girlfriend was Asian American, and then he ended up dating an African American girl who was played by Aisha Tyler. I actually loved her in that role, even though they kind of made her look like a whore. But anyway, he makes the statement that, maybe we should do Friends with an all-black cast or an all-Asian cast. Really, David? So, my girl Erika Alexander, Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, Pam from The Cosby Show, yes, Diane from Queen Sugar, yes, that Erika Alexander. She went to Twitter and got him all the way together. Like, all black cast of Friends. Have you heard of Living Single? We were the template for Friends. You're welcome, bruh. I was like, there you go, Erika Alexander. She got him all the way together. And we've known this for years, that Friends was nothing but a white version of Living Single. And John Hinton has spoken out about this on Comedy Hype. Queen Latifah, when she was on, I think, Watch What Happens Live, she had mentioned that, the head of NBC at the time, someone had asked him, if you can have any show that's out right now to put on NBC, what show would it be? And he said Living Single. And soon after that, Friends was out. And the thing about it, it was messy as hell as how they did this, because the whole concept of Living Single was created by Yvette Lee Bowser. She was the executive producer and creator of Living Single. What they did was took her brainchild, put some blonde hair on it, and called it something different. And that's where Friends came about. Living Single debuted in 1993, and Friends debuted in 1994. And then to make it even more crazy, they had them on the same night. So therefore, that both shows, which one was a carbon copy of the other, they were literally fighting in the same time slot. So therefore, it literally split, where most of the mainstream audience watched Friends, and mostly the black demographic watched Living Single. Even though Living Single was a great show, I was a huge fan of Living Single. Never missed an episode. As a matter of fact, I used to tape it on my VHS, as a kid. Trust me, Living Single was my show. I got into Friends later, and Friends was a good show as well. I mean, I actually watched all 10 seasons twice on Netflix. And my cousin Shamir is a big fan of Friends as well. Shout out to my cousin. Me and her used to always talk about Friends. Smelly cat, you name it. It was a great show. But if you were a true fan of Living Single, you can completely see how Friends literally copied the characterization, the camaraderie, literally from Living Single. Like, you can tell that Khadijah on Friends was Monica, because she was kind of like the the head honcho, the great provider, kind of like the mother of the group. Then you know the love and hate situation between Max and Kyle, Rachel and Ross on Friends. Sinclair with her zany ways and her, off canter way of relating. You definitely got that with Phoebe. Phoebe on Friends, Sinclair living single. Boom. Um, Joey Tribbiani definitely was a carbon copy of Overton Wakefield Jones. John Hinton did was phenomenal in that role. Uh, Definitely you can see, as far as Chandler, you can see a combination of Max and Kyle in him, because Max was good with the wisecracks, always was putting something on blast. That was Chandler. And we definitely can see Cal Barker and Ross as well, because Ross was a guy who had a great career, but had his eccentric ways. So did Cal Barker. So you really see all the characterizations of Living Single. They literally did what they did and Bring It On, put some blonde hair on it and called it something different. Because it immediately made me think of the movie Bring It On, the with Kirsten Dunst and Gabrielle Union. You know, the Clovers, which was the black cheerleaders, they were the originators. They created their own cheers. Whereas the Toros, who was the white cheerleaders who were getting on ESPN and winning national championships, were literally copying everything that the Clovers did. It's like decolonization done in today's world, and that's exactly what was happening in the 90s. And it was so effed up that Living Single didn't get the notoriety nor the marketing push that it deserved, because Living Single was so good that it could have went 10 seasons. There was so much more that could have been done with that show, but it got canceled within the middle of its 5th season, while Friends got the notoriety, got the backing, got the push, and they lasted 10 seasons. And in the last 2 seasons, the whole cast was getting $1 million each, for each episode. The whole cast. That could have been them. And it's also upsetting that Yvette Yee Bowser, who created the idea, who invented the template, never got credit for Friends. And that's the part that upsets me, because you literally stole this woman's idea and didn't give her a dime. While Living Single, was in a lot where they weren't given even any heat, air conditioning or heat. They just had to work with what they had to work with, where, Friends got all the investments. So pretty much they had the complexion for the protection and the collection. And even Erika Alexander said the same thing. And even T.C. Carlson, who played Cal Barker, he's even come out and said things about it. That, yeah, they literally copied our show, and here it is. We were stuck in the black demographic. We never got the marketing. We never got the financial investment that we deserve to have. So we were kind of stuck on Fox, which was still kind of new at the time. Fox is at a very big plateau now, but at then it was kind of mediocre to NBC. One of the head television stations that's been in the game, and it was NBC who backed Friends. But the thing is, they had executives from Warner Brothers that worked on both shows, and that's how Living Single got transferred over to Friends. And as a matter of fact, one of the original names of Living Single was going to be Friends, because they had different names that they were messing with. I think like the pilot, it was called, The Girls or something like that, but it didn't test well. And they had some options. One was Living Single, one was Friends, and they had a few other names. So Friends wasn't even originally for Friends. Like, it was actually Friends was the actual original name that would have been Living Single, but they took Friends and created a white show, literally a carbon copy of the original. And I really do think that both shows could have thrived and both could have lasted very well, but they did Living Single so wrong. They did, I mean, it was systemic racism. It was just, it was human cruelty. Like, just to blatantly say what it was. Because they could have even did a crossover, where, some of the cast of Living Single intervene on Friends, and Friends can intervene on Living Single. Oh, yeah, and even top this off. Living Single was based in Brooklyn. Friends was in Manhattan. Like, literally, carbon copy. And they could have kept both shows, but Living Single should have been highly respected. It should have been invested in. And it should have gotten a bigger push than it deserved, because I was one of the people that was pissed when it went off the air, because I was like, man, we could have gotten so much more. And even with, T's character coming in, towards, I think the fifth season, there could have been more with his character as well. And it was just so unfortunate that Living Single was given the axe while Friends got the full support and recognition. And it just goes to show, David Schwimmer, sometimes your white inclusiveness, or I won't say inclusiveness, but your white privilege makes you blind to things. Because how the hell would you not know about Living Single when, if it wasn't for Living Single, Friends would have never happened? Y'all get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts on this situation. But shout out to Erika Alexander for, reaching out to David Schwimmer. And she was like, okay, well, if you want to do like a comment, like an inclusive show, have your agent call my agent. Like, Erika's like, hey, if you're really about it, let's make it happen. So yeah, get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts about this. So until next time, everybody, take care.